Hello everyone, Manathrall here, and welcome back to another weekly update video. And boy do we got a bunch of stuff for you this week. Okay, so we have the combat pets that are here. The Premier Club is going to be fully released and announced this weekend. However, there is something special coming already today with the Premier Club. So, first up, we're going to talk... Oh, we also have patch notes, of course. First up, the combat pets are here. As you can see, these guys right here in the top portion. I know it's not exactly the best picture, well, easiest picture to see, but there you go. You can kind of see them. Right here is Wallace, which is a defense pet. Saifu, the attack pet. Kangala, which is the strength pet. You got Newton, who is a magic. Sparky, who's ranged. Morty, the constitution. Shamini for summoning. And Ghostly for prayer. But it is also worth mentioning that Krabby is now also a combat pet. So do keep that in mind. There we go. And in order to get these pets, you have to get XP in their appropriate category. And was it, like I said, Saifu's attack, Kangala's strength, well, Kangalia's strength, Sparky's range, Newton's magic, Wallace defense, Morty constitution, Ghostly prayer, and Shamini is summoning, and Krabby is Slayer. But you have to have XP in that, or be getting XP in that skill. And if you do that, you roll a chance on getting the XP from it. Well, getting the pet from it. So anytime you get XP in a normal fashion, it'll work. And then we got the Premier Club Vault, which is something I was going to show you guys right here. It is in the Varrock Grand Exchange, as you can see if you look around here. If you go through this portal, now do keep in mind, like I wanted to show you guys what was behind the portal early, because you do have one extra chance, but for whatever reason, when I went into it, it kind of lagged me out, so I lost my 1 minute time frame, which is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. So I can't. There's nothing I can do about it, basically. Also, I tried to get into it with my Iron Man account, and the Iron Men are not able to actually take part in that part, at least for this additional bonus one. Whether they can or not for the next 12 months if you get the Gold Premier Club, that I don't know yet, because they didn't release all the details yet. And before I forget, back on the combat skill pets, there is also 3 new titles now, which is Jack of Blades. I believe you need to have 3 of the combat pets, and Jack of all Blades, you need to have all the combat pets. And if you have all combat and skill pets, you get the Master of All title. And they will be announcing the names of the first players to win these new titles across all servers. But back into the Premier Club, which is for the Vault. Every month, if you're in the Premier Gold Club, you will be able to go into the Vault for 1 minute, and then there will be different chests. You get to unlock them. The bigger the chest, the better the prize. However, it probably takes longer to unlock the bigger chests. So it's something to kind of keep in mind. Every member will have a chance to be able to go into it one time up until November 30th at midnight. So that is your deadline. You have to have it done before then, because after that case, it becomes just for the Premier Gold Club. And speaking of the Premier Club memberships, they are going to be announced this Friday. So that means I will be announcing this Friday who the 2 winners are for this year's Bond giveaway. Now, this year it's only 2 people, but next year it'll probably be more, because I was able to get enough for 2 Bond giveaways of roughly 26 bonds each for this time frame, and I think I only started maybe 5-6 months ago that I started doing this, roughly around there. So That is something to keep in mind, and next year's will be even bigger yet. But it doesn't say exactly all the stuff that will be going on other than the Premier Club Vault. And please, Jaggeds, just let the Iron Man take part in this. I mean, it's one of those things where I understand not letting an Iron Man trade with other players and stuff like that. But when you have something, even including double XP weekends, because it's not trading with another player, you're still being self-sufficient. You're still putting in the work. You're still putting in the effort. You're still getting that membership. You should be able to take full advantage of that membership. It should not be hindered just because you're playing a game mode that is about self-sufficiency. Because you're still being self-sufficient. You're still doing things on your own. Now, that could just be my thought. But if there is a way where, you know, people can go in, and if it's just cosmetics, let them in. And if there's other stuff other than cosmetics, just restrict the prizes that Iron Man can get. I know it's a little bit extra coding, but at least then you're actually still giving to your Iron Man players. You're giving them a reason to get the Premier Club for their Iron Man accounts. To me personally, depending on what the other things are, I might not get it because there's just no point in doing it. Now, I will for my main account because I can actually use the Premier Club, so to me that's worth it in itself. But anyway, before I keep ranting and raving there, the free weekend is also coming up, which is going to be at 12 p.m. UTC game time on the 24th through 12 p.m. UTC on the 27th. So if you are free to play, even if you're brand new to RuneScape, you will be able to log into a member's world and you will have all the content open to you for that weekend. No caps, no restrictions, no nothing. You can just go in and do anything until your heart's content. Don't forget, Lootscape is coming up this weekend. This time they have added Sunday's live stream, which, for the live streams this week, you got Tuesday, November 21st at 1700 game time. You got RuneScape Content Showcase, which you know I'll be looking over that whenever it gets onto their YouTube and going over it. And Sunday, November 26th at 1900 UTC, you got PVM with Ahmad Lee. Both of these are in Lootscape, which perfect. That is perfect, Jaggeds, because that helps people who are in different time zones because you're enabling not only during the week, which kind of restricts the time zones that can, but now you're doing it also allowing it on the weekend, which helps the people who missed out on the first one. Now onto the patch notes. For Graphical, the Skeletal Horror has now packed up his disco, leaving the environment behind him constantly lit. The shadows of the snow have been toned down. Skills D&Ds and minigames, using the mix option on a regular shiny turtle shell bowl without the required ingredients, will now open the correct Make X category. A redundant pie category has been removed from the Cooking Make X interface. Using the borrowed power, which from Pauline will no longer disconnect the player if using the wrong spellbook. Players who have not read some post-quest dialogue after Shiloh Village can now attack the Hydrix dragons in the Sunken Pyramid. The Sun Spirit item charge tooltip now accurately updates. Regenerate is no longer triggered by Revolution. Revolution now fires combat abilities when stats are boosted. Items will now consistently appear in the Beast of Burden when using the Give BOB items option. The Dungeoneering map will now correctly save in the third interface layout preset. Note, you'll need to save a new preset over your preset 3 to fix this issue. NXT, fix an issue which prevented QuickChat from working on QuickChat Worlds. It's pretty big there. Fix lag when minimizing and maximizing in normal mode on some Windows systems. Fix possible cause of 3D world freezing but interface remaining responsive on Windows. Fix possible cause of crashing when multitasking with other applications on Windows. Fix some billboards from not appearing in the environment. Fix device resets causing a logout from lobby or authenticator code screen. Fix an issue where NXT could launch multiple error pages. Reduced memory usage of animation systems. Reduce driver overhead animation systems, especially on AMD graphics cards. Improved robustness of device loss recovery, less likely for things to render broken or crash after PC sleeps. Driver crash, minimizing compatibility mode, switching GPU, etc. Reduce CPU usage of animation, picking an entity in logic systems, especially at frame rates well below 50. Reduce work being done by logic loop during frame rates drops and stutters, which was previously multiplying their length. Reduce stutter/frame skip when loading or moving around, especially on AMD graphics cards. Reduce instances of white/noisy pixels on terrain at the extreme glance angles with anisotropic filtering enabled. Implemented immutable texture storage and extensions, which may improve performance on some GPUs. And last week's hot fixes: coins are now consistently dropped when a gold accumulator is placed in the tool belt and disabled. Staircases in the Beneath Cursed Tides quest area will no longer force players to climb too high or too low when using the climb to top or bottom options. Players will no longer receive messages about luck when completing clue scrolls and not wearing a luck increasing ring. An alluring issue was resolved concerning a clockwork lemon at the Wilderness Wall. So, this weekend, I want to say I will be showing you guys what's behind the vault. This way you guys can decide if it's actually worth it for you or not. But also, remember, I will be giving away that 2 VIP, bond giveaways. What you use the bonds for, that's really up to your decision. But it's up to you guys how I do this. I could do a drawing live and, like maybe pulling names out of a hat kind of thing. Or I could just announce it to you guys in a video. All you guys got to do is just let me know what you guys think is the best bet. But that'll do it for today's video. So thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, later guys.